There's our colleague from the Northern Cape who talked about people being sidelined since 2007, and that includes me. It's a very serious question. I'll broaden it a bit. The current CEO of the South African Institute of Race Relations made a speech not long ago in the US. It's a very interesting speech, and which I think everybody should read. And he says, one of the things he says, that in order to understand South Africa today, you got to look at it in terms of its different ages, what he calls ages. And he says age number one is a period from 1994 to 2007. That's age number one. Then he says from 2008 up to 2022 is age number two. And then after that comes age number three. And he describes these ages. And he says age number one, 94 to 2007, was a very positive period in our country. He produces many figures. He says, look at this, look at the rate of growth. Numbers of people who are employed grow from 8 million to 14 million during this period. He says, here, all of these positives. This is the CEO of the Institute of Race Relations. And then 2008, everything goes down. Factually, I don't think any one of us can challenge him. Because practically, that's what happened. Practically, that's the truth. He does not ask the question, what happened? Because the people who were in government in 94 and 2007, in terms of party, were the same people who were in government in 2008 and 2022. Why do they behave differently? From 94 to 2000, and everything is very positive. From 28, I'm saying the same party. Why? He doesn't pose that question. In order to really to get into a fundamental understanding, what is it that changed? Because something changed. Questions that are being raised about what do we do about levels of crime, about young people who are not voting. I don't know if our colleague from the Northern Cape has an answer to that question. What happened to change the... in my view is this, colleagues, that fortunately we're at UNISA here, we're at the university, and Vice Chancellor spoke about the tasks of a university. I think we need a lot of thinking, a lot of research. Because these negative things which the CEO of the Institute of Race Relations talks about from 2008 downwards, they're not accidental. Somebody decided that it must happen like that. Look at absolutely everything. We are very fortunate, for instance, that we had the Nugent Commission of Inquiry into SARS. You remember the problem with SARS? The problem with the Revenue Service was that for many years it was outperforming itself. During this period to 1994 to 2007, it's really outperforming itself. And then at a later stage, it started underperforming itself. And so the question arose, what has gone wrong? That's how the commission chaired by Judge Nugent was appointed. I don't know if I ask people here to raise their hands, how many people have read that commission report? I wouldn't be surprised if I don't see any hand. It's available there, it's in the public domain, it's in the internet. And what the Nugent Commission says is that this was a deliberate decision to destroy the Revenue Service. It was prepared for. There's this fellow who was appointed as head of the SARS, Tom Moyane. Tom Moyane was prepared from 2013. Tom Moyane was appointed head of SARS in 2014. But from 2013, he was being trained by this American company, Bain, to take over as head of SARS. When Bain appeared before the Nugent Commission, and they said to them, you started working with Mr. Moyane on SARS in 2013. How did you know he was going to be appointed head of SARS in 2014? And the answer from Bain was, no, we were told that he has a personal ambition to be head of SARS. And so we decided to help him. They trained him and prepared him to destroy SARS. The Sunday Times, for a whole year, carried articles about so many bad people in the leadership of SARS. Very bad. When Moyane came in, one of the first things he did was to sack all of these people identified by Sunday Times as bad. After which the Sunday Times apologized that we were very wrong to point to those people as bad. And now, colleagues, you know that SARS is responsible for 98% of state revenues. You destroy SARS, you destroy this democratic republic. The Nugent Commission details what happened to destroy SARS. This is one of the things that happened in this period identified by the CEO of the Institute of Race Relations of this this decline. It was very deliberate, very conscious. Some people decided that. I'm saying it's a very specific example with all of the details to substantiate the point I'm trying to make, that this negative decline, which the Institute of Relations is talking about, was not accidental. The notion is put about that, no, this was because there were greedy people and there were corrupt people. Yes, indeed, there were greedy people and corrupt people. But there were also other people with a political objective, which was to destroy the democratic revolution.